ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय। Prostrations to Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, who has come in so many forms to bless us all. உன்னிடத்தில் ஒப்புவித்த உள்ளத்தால் எப்பொழுதும் உன்னை கண்டெல்லாமும் உன்னுருவாய் அந்நியமில் அன்பு செய்யும் அன்னோன் அருணாச்சலாவெல்கும் இன்புருவாம் உன்னில் ஆழ்ந்தே. These are the holy words of our Master Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. The meaning is, he who dedicates his mind to you and seeing you always beholds the whole universe as your form, he who at all times glorifies you and loves you as none other than the self, he is to master without a rival, being one with you, O Arunachala, and lost in your bliss. We should have the basic understanding that when masters like Buddha, Jesus Christ and Ramana Maharshi utters even a single word, it is not just a word from the dictionary. It is their own being. They want to pass it on to us through silence, through look, through touch. They try to pass it on to us, but we are so much caught up in words, in our brain, in our knowledge, in our particular mother tongue language. So these masters have to use that with which they can reach you. That's why yesterday we shared the master's statements are not sentences. They are the states, their own experience. At that moment, what they are experiencing, since we can understand only the words, they put it in words. If only with reverence approach those words, those statements, Maharshi himself has assured, it will become your own. That's the beauty about satsang. What is the difference between satsang and a lecture? The lecturer knows more, the listeners know less. Either in college, school, or any special lectures. That's why we go. He knows more. But in satsang, no one is excluded because there is no one. Are these bodies others? Bhagavan said, there are no others. First, his prime teaching is, you are the I am. In one sentence he said, in one place he said, there is no you at all. There is only I. So there are no others. When he said, the people who are in front of him could not understand, as if Bhagavan is excluding them as others. Bhagavan smiled and said, it begins from your body. For the I am, this very body is the other. So when we listen to Master's words, doesn't matter which language. Some years back, some friends gave me some chanting in a 16th century Gregorian church. And I went into great ecstasy. I didn't know what they were singing. It is still there with me. Whenever I want some ecstatic experience, I do not go to Sanskrit chantings. I go to that Gregorian chanting which I don't know what it is. But it puts me into that state. That's what I mean. So when Maharshi uses the words faith, compassion, yesterday we saw faith is not belief. Any belief depends on you. You have to believe. Faith descends on you. It is in spite of you. That's why all the masters say, have faith. Have faith in yourself. Not on Ganesan. The I within me, when Bhagavan says, have faith, Ganesan, in yourself, it's not on Ganesan. It's on the I. So today, we are going to share the most remarkable feature of Ramana Maharshi. I am not just out of partiality excluding him. All sages and saints are like that. Since we have moved with him, I have moved with him so closely. I have not moved with Buddha, I have not moved with Jesus Christ, but I have moved with, here is the Master. So I can talk. I have moved with old devotees who have lived day and night with the great Master. Not with that person, the Master, the real Master. And how he was exuding compassion. Compassion is giving you not just comfort or loving you, helping you. These are all human behaviors just to help you, just to make you understand. We think that's all compassion. Giving oneself wholly to the other is compassion. No residue. And how can you give completely yourself to the other? Unless you do not feel the other as separate from you. Has not Jesus Christ said, love thy neighbor as thyself? That's exactly what it means. You be completely identified with the neighbor, with your friend, with your child, with your mother, with your whoever it may be. That's compassion. And Maharshi, from the beginning, he was drawn to Arunachala. Arunachala came to him. The born new baby was listening to the sound Arunachala. He did not know what it was. And the devotees with whom I have moved, they all had this remarkable feature of already Bhagavan, not Bhagavan this form, that truth, the awakening. For Arthur Osborne, from childhood he felt truth can only be one. There cannot be two truths. From childhood, it is not intellectual thought. Bhagavan had already descended on him. Chadwick had a meditation. God has created the all and God is perfect. So all his creation is perfect. That it is God who created me, so I am also perfect. Bhagavan descends on them already. When they came to see physically Ramana Maharshi, they got a connection to their childhood conviction, which was not a thought. Robert Adams and a few others, their childhood experience was light, flooded, whole light including themselves. And afterwards is left, and they did not know they wanted it back. They could not get. They studied all religions, texts. When they came for the first time and met Maharshi, they did not see a human being there, an Indian. They saw the Jyoti. Even Muruganar had first darshan of Ramana Maharshi. Maharshi was seated there, came out of the hut in an odd hour. He never used to come. Muruganar is going 1923, first time, great scholar. He had written a poem extolling him. And Maharshi came out and he saw only Jyoti, fire, complete fire. So he could not read the poem. Tears were already flowing in his eyes. Maharshi called him, "Oh, give me that poem." Then he read it. So many stories, not stories, actualities. So proving that even though Maharshi, in that beautiful form, S.S. Cohen used to say, "This is the most beautiful form I have ever come across." But I also know he is not that form. Every minute, not just a concept. Whenever he was seated in front of Maharshi, he could see God. That same I am. This is what Ramana Maharshi in one of his poems has written. Arunachala commanded me. It was an extempore verse. When he was up on the hill, Maharshi, my master Arunachala commanded me, please spread the truth about me. His truth is, I am. And that's what he has written. My Guru has given me this commandment. I have to spread this truth of I am all over the world. But Maharshi never left even 1 inch from Arunachala. This is the faith. You should not decide, I will go and do propaganda. That is all your belief on yourself. When Maharshi stayed, never spoke, and people came, the whole world came to him. What we know now, Ramana Maharshi, the world went to him. So, that compassionate being, we are going to share today. I am so happy you are accepting this sharing. 50-50. Annually it is sharing. Faith and compassion are two inseparable experiences within every one of us. They are inseparable, intertwined like heat and light intertwined in a flame. You cannot separate them. Maharshi had faith, Master, thy will be done. And he was adhering to that completely. Yesterday we had a glimpse that he went to Patalalinga underground niche. Maharshi never cared, Maharshi never even identified with the body. Excuse me. So there is no question of he is feeling hunger. And the allied attachments, care for the body, resting, nothing. The termites were eating his flesh, but Father's commandment, no food, alone. But he was in bliss. That's what Maharshi later on said. How could you stay there? You are only a 16-year-old boy. Did you not feel the sting of termites? Bhagavan only smiled and said, Father alone knows. Then he was taken out. The faith that Maharshi had on Arunachala and followed his father's commandment, thy will be done. Arunachala sent one mother after other to look after him. One disciple, one attendant on the other. Maharshi never wanted anything. Never asked for anyone. In fact, he never spoke. Later on, when he was asked, did you take a vow of silence? He didn't say, I never took anything. I was just immersed in bliss. Nobody spoke to me, so I did not speak back. Were you observing fasting? He said, no, I was not. Nobody was giving me food, so I did not eat. Even up on the hill. But when he was taken out from the underground niche and he was staying on underneath the tree, this dancing girl, Ratrammal, was feeding him. Later on, Bhagavan referred to that. There are two types of sadhus. One type of them, they identify with the python. The other one is honeybee. Python never moves. When the food comes, it eats, that's all. So that is Ajakara Vritti and Madhukara Vritti. But the honeybee has to go from flower to flower to gather. That's also permitted. Bhagavan was in the Ajakara Vritti, python state. He was not even, at least python, I am told, was used to open its mouth. Bhagavan was not even open his mouth. Ratrammal has to open his mouth and put food. Afterwards, he had a Madhukara Vritti also. Once Bhagavan, in the 1940s, when people had come, he said, Bhagavan, did you beg in the streets in front of houses? Bhagavan said, there is not a single house in Tiruvannamalai where I have not begged. And how did you beg Bhagavan? If they give something, he will eat and wipe his hand on his head. Then he said, I was walking like a single supreme sovereign monarch. That was the bliss. He gives the adjective to the bliss, not to the being, that person, Ramana, boy. He says, I felt like supreme, single, sovereign monarch. Arunachala attended on him. One night, when he was taken to Guru Murtam, Bhagavan never made any decision of himself, because he had declared to Father Arunachala, thy will be done. So there was a lot of crowd, some festival. Even though Bhagavan was having even a loin cloth, sometimes it will slip off also. And we people, modern people, we feel ashamed of that. So they felt, some of the people, lot of people are going to come, so you go and stay in Guru Murtam. Bhagavan took it as Arunachala's thing. He went there. As I said yesterday, here in Patalalinga, all his flesh here were eaten up. In Guru Murtam, all his back was eaten up by ants. Immaterial. Compassionate towards the termites, compassionate towards the ants. Inexplicable compassion. And no one knew who this boy was. And the spiritual luster is so wonderful. Anyone coming and seeing him completely got bowled out by the spiritual aura. As I was telling the other day to stand. If Buddha comes and stands in front of us, if Jesus Christ comes and stands in front of us, how will we feel? That's how they were all feeling in front of that boy, 16-year-old boy. So they wanted to know who he was. Then one Tahsildar, one officer, government officer, asked him, what is your name? Where are you coming from? With full of devotion. Because he was somewhere in the corner of the town. So he went, the officer went there. Bhagavan was just drawn into himself, in within. Then that Tahsildar said, I will not eat, I will not sleep, I will not move out from here till you tell me your name and who you are. Hours passed like that. Then Bhagavan took some charcoal there, wrote on the wall, Venkataraman Tiruchuri, in English, because he is a big officer. Though Indian, out of compassion. He never felt it was all a nuisance. It had to come out. Maharshi, when he spoke, it is out of compassion. When he ate, it was compassion for the others. So many sages have come and seen him. There was one particular sage who was very popular at that time in the Tamil Nadu, in that area. And he saw only a flame. This great Swami, he had attained spiritual maturity, but he had not attained that state where he could see a human being in flames. So he went and caught hold of his feet and begged of Bhagavan, give me. He was an old man. He was only 16. Bhagavan was 16. Begged, give me that state where you are established. This was the state where Maharshi was. And Arunachala was moving him. Arunachala had already put one Palani Swami as attendant. Yesterday I said, Palani Swami saw in Bhagavan a great spiritual illuminary, and he had read in his home book, village book, that holy people should not be much fed, so he was giving him only 3 handfuls of food. just mouthful, only 3 mouthful. Bhagavan said, I became so weak, I could not even get up and walk. But everything Bhagavan took it as Arunachala's, his faith in Arunachala. Then he was moving to another small hillock, nothing of his own accord he was moving. There his mother meets him. Mother begs of him, come back, I will look after you. Then he writes this, whatever is to happen will happen. Whatever is not to happen will not happen. There was to remain in silence is the best course. And even to the mother, he was showing the way to go within. That's the compassion. Not going along with her, that's not compassion, that's attachment. And then he moves to Arunachala hill, Virupaksha cave. This is the most important period of Bhagavan's life. That's what old devotees have told me. Because there also Bhagavan was not eating, not cooking, and not speaking. Because nobody was giving him food, nobody was talking to him. Then one or two these attendants, they went and started begging and then bringing the food and giving it to Bhagavan. And most of his writings were out of compassion. Payani Swami wanted to beg in the streets, he wanted a song to sing. That's how these 108 names, Arunachala Shiva came, Aksharamana Male, marital garland. And Bhagavan of his own accord wrote nothing. No recognition, no name. Happy. The compassion state, why I am repeating that is, when you touch this state of compassion within you, as I have seen all the old devotees, always happy. The night, 12 o'clock, I used to look at them through the window. Either they are seated or lying down, the face is always happy. Not I am imagining. When you have this compassion, you will get compassion. You must have faith. Faith in the Master. Faith in his words. Faith in his instructions. What wells up is this joy. Joy is compassion. Bhagavan wrote all these verses. Whenever they asked something, and then there were people, scholars, Bhagavan had not read any scripture, as I said yesterday, except Bible. No Hindu scripture. But his spiritual aura and presence was so great, people used to think that he is a great scholar. Hindu scholars used to think he is a great scholar. So they will come and say, bring him some book, Vivek Chudamani, all that Bhagavan read only by somebody bringing. Bhagavan, I could not understand, will you explain? That's the first time he reads. And he has later on commented on that. When I read that, I'll tell it in Tamil. Because of, Namma Vishayam da adula solli irukku. It is only our own state is revealed there. Bhagavan's feeling was, he did not read and intellectually understand and get that state. Bhagavan got the state and then he got the confirmation from texts. And once the reading, it's enough for him, it will stay there. And many devotees, many scholars started bringing, because he used to explain, which is original. There are scholars, they have read commentaries on that, but they were all written by somebody. In the presence of Bhagavan, he used to explain them from his experience. What Adi Shankara wrote, what other sages wrote. It is not for intellectual explanation. That's why we get so many works of Bhagavan, all born of compassion. A person of compassion is not a dejected person seated in a corner. You will be included. You will be including everyone. You will be included and you will also be including everyone, everything. Nothing is rejected. In love, there is a dosha, there is a defect there. There is an element of liking is there. I love only people whom I like. The border is there. Compassion is an expression of joyful feeling without borders. And we have to share Bhagavan's life. I tell you, my friends, by looking at the greatness of Ramana Maharshi's compassion, it will slowly dissolve into yourself. Because I saw these old devotees with whom I moved, they were filled with this virtue of complete faith in Arunachala and Ramana Maharshi and complete compassion. So I used to ask them, how did you have this purity, this virtue? They said, by just looking and moving with Bhagavan, by staying with Bhagavan. Bhagavan was an ocean of compassion in every act. That's what we are going to share. By listening even to that, by listening to the old devotees narrating Bhagavan's compassion, I have imbibed it. I am saying that without a tinge of arrogance. How do you know you have got compassion? Any child should come to you. No separation. People, grown up people will have likes and dislikes. They will love you. That's the indication. So in Virupaksha cave, Bhagavan, all the pourings of teachings which we are now able to share and experience, all came out of compassion. It was not with a scheme of formulating his own teaching. It all fell into groove. Then he moves to Skandashram. Not his decision. One devotee, his name was Skandan, he felt Virupaksha cave was so small, so many people have gathered, so single-handedly he created this Skandashram. Worked hard, day and night worked and created it. One day he came and asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, I have created as you, if you have seen Skandashram, platform, everything was created by him, a projection in the sloping hill. There we can all see, we can meet. I am sure Arunachala should have commanded Bhagavan to go there. It is not just by a request of somebody who would have done it. There at Skandashram, his compassion had a different dimension. Animals, peacock, the very first peacock came there. It came and sat on his lap. When a few others were also there, oh, you want to be with me? And later on Bhagavan explained, the higher beings take the form of birds or animals, they want to seek company. Company of the sage, saint, a mongoose. You should read all this. It's all your heart will flower. It is not reading something outside. This is the secret. When you read about faith and compassion, it is not something outside of you. It melts and moves into you. It becomes yourself. A mongoose, golden color mongoose. There is a festival, hundreds of people were moving, and even Skandashram was flooded with people. Mongoose is a very shy animal. But this one stepped up and searched in Virupaksha cave. It went and searched every nook and corner. It could not find Bhagavan. First time it is coming. It came to Skandashram. Bhagavan was seated and others were all there. It gave a look to everyone, but went straight to Bhagavan and sat on his lap. And monkeys, plenty of stories. And one particular monkey, Nundi, Maim in Tamil means Nundi. It has defective hand. And it became the inmate of the ashram, Skandashram. Bhagavan, from the beginning to the last day, equal sharing. So, when there was only one meal at Skandashram, 10 o'clock or so, begged meal or cooked meal, but everyone should be put, a leaf should be spread, and equal sharing should be there. There is always a leaf for that monkey. Monkey or peacock or mongoose, whatever, it's all fact. People have seen. And some stories are all there. See, when the lady who was serving, she felt that, monkey seated. You see, for us Indians, it is all very crude. Along with man, animal is seated. Bhagavan just looked at, oh, Korangunu Bakriya, Nambala Vanna. Are you looking at it as a monkey, as an animal? He is one among us. It is not a palliative statement. Bhagavan saw it only as the eye. Beautiful stories in Skandashram. Time will not be enough for spreading. One day when Bhagavan was in Skandashram seated, only few people, 6 or 7 people. Suddenly Bhagavan got up, which Bhagavan never did anything unusual. He can predict now what Bhagavan will be doing at 12 o'clock. He will be walking at Palakutu. And meticulously it will happen. So, suddenly he got up at Skandashram and he was walking towards the hill. There is a huge rock, boulder, monolith. A mother goat is bleating and its baby had slipped off, and it is a curvature in Skandashram. Do you remember? There is a big rock, there is a curvature, and somehow that baby goat had come, a little projection is there, it is caught up. The mother goat is not able to reach there, it is impossible. Not even unless you have got ladder and all that. And Bhagavan heard that. He went and all of them were paralyzed. What to do? They also have compassion for that, love or care for that baby goat, but none of them had the courage to go and then rescue it. Bhagavan went and then picked it up. In an eye flash, he went there, picked it up, and then brought it and gave it to the mother and came back. And old devotees used to tell me, it's not a physical act. It is impossible. You will slip off, and Bhagavan also should have fallen off. Compassion. The whole attention is to save that baby, and it brings from within you that power defying the physical laws. When you come this side, you have to fall. But even that compassion is capable of defying. Bhagavan proved it, demonstrated it, and then came back and sat. So many stories. And then when he came, Bhagavan was full of compassion. Compassion begins with not caring for yourself. Selfishness. Where there is selfishness, you can never even understand what is compassion. And the way he attended on his mother, gave her liberation, is a pure compassion. Because she decided, I will die only. It is not Ramana Maharshi's wish or will. She decided, the mother decided, I will die only on your lap. No medical help, nothing upon the hill. And Bhagavan attended on her. 8 hours he sat along with her and gave her liberation. Then when he came to Ramanashram, while at Skandashram, he was the friend of all the monkeys. He has got observation so well. He used to say there are kingdoms of monkeys. And he used to clear two kings fighting two groups of monkeys. There will be a representative coming from both groups to Bhagavan, and then he will pacify them and make them united. All these are remarkable stories are there, which is physically impossible. Unless Bhagavan was an ocean of compassion. Bhagavan once said, when the monkeys have a rule, natural rule, if human being touches any of the monkeys, they will cascade them, they will outlaw them, they will not make them come along with them. No herd will accept them. They have to die just out of neglect. But Bhagavan said, I don't know. Even all the mother monkeys, as soon as they give birth, they will bring it along with, what is that, plinta, along with all that, with all blood and everything, they will bring, that mother will come and bring it and put it on Bhagavan's lap. It was Bhagavan who used to wash it and then give it back to the monkey mother, and the whole kingdom accepted it. So Bhagavan was asked, how was it, Bhagavan? You said that they will cascade them. Perhaps they have taken me as one among them. And this doesn't stop here. When after Bhagavan came to Skanda from Ramanashram, Ramanashram was becoming a little popular. Crowds were coming, little prosperity was coming. In the old hall, people were there. Bhagavan was seated. As I said, Bhagavan will not do anything unusual. Suddenly he got up. He went very fast towards the hill. There were a group of monkeys there. And when he came, Bhagavan was crying profusely. They all asked, what Bhagavan? The monkeys there from Skandashram, that Nundi also had become very old. He had brought all the queen monkeys and baby monkeys and pleaded, Bhagavan, come back. We miss you so much. So I had to sit with them and tell them what to do. I cannot come there. Here these people will be disappointed, and please go back, I am always with you. And then when he was telling, tears were there. He pacified them and then sent them. And this is what Kunju Swami had personally witnessed this. Whenever he used to narrate this story, he cannot tell it without sobbing. The same compassion affecting Kunju Swami. Compassion. When at Virupaksha cave and Skandashram, there was one Perumal Swami who was a ruffian Swami. He was the manager there. He was very, very, very disciplinarian, very rude. So many instances are there. Then after Bhagavan came to this Ramanashram, Perumal Swami did not like Bhagavan's mother coming and staying there, brother coming and staying. So he started insulting them, wanted them to be driven out. He had a hatred for them. So when Bhagavan came to this ashram, present ashram, he disliked Bhagavan and all the Ramanashram people. He started a Ramanashram in the town, made a statue of Bhagavan. He said Ramanashram is here and all money orders, letters, everything should go to him. And he filed a case against Bhagavan. He wanted to drag Bhagavan into the court. He wrote a very nasty book on Bhagavan. So many atrocities he had done. But finally, he had sickness. He was very ill. And he sent word to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, now I regret. I have done something grievous to my own Guru. I know I have done great sin. Will you please permit me to have your darshan so that I can wash off all my sins? But the whole management here, Ramanashram management is, no, he should not come. That rascal should not come here. He tried to drag our master to the court. He wrote a nasty book on our master. He should not come. Then this message went to Bhagavan. Bhagavan will never mingle with what is happening around unless he is told. So one attendant told him, Bhagavan, what atrocity. This Perumal Swami has the audacity to send word that he wants to come here and have your darshan, having done all this. Oh, Perumal Swami wants to come here. He was so happy. You are all now here attending on me. When I was on the hill, he was the only person who with such affection attended on me. Once I had perennial diarrhea. How he washed me and kept me. He saved me almost. And such a good person. And Bhagavan did not break the rule of the ashram and then ask him to come here. He did not say. The way Bhagavan was expressing his likeness to meet him, somebody went and told him, and Perumal Swami came. So all the ashram management people, they were all around the hall's window outside with a long face. Perumal Swami went and held Bhagavan's feet, cried and cried, Bhagavan, forgive me. I know there is no emancipation for me, Bhagavan. I know Bhagavan. Bhagavan was smilingly looking at him. I know, Bhagavan, I will only go to hell. I have to suffer in the hell. And he was all saying it very sincerely. When he said, I will go only to hell, Bhagavan at that time put his hand on his shoulder and said, Perumal Swami, even if you go to hell, will I not be there? I will always be with you. He says, I will go to hell, will I not be there? Being with you, I will always be with you. I like this incident very much. Compassion. Not just tolerance. Overflowing compassion. No separation. No division. So many instances in Bhagavan's life. So many things. And his one insistence was, everyone should be given food. He will eat only he should be served the last, so that no one should be left out. And the way he looked after the cows, that cow anecdote you should know. Bhagavan was in the new ashram. Suddenly, there was at that time no cow shed, nothing, because cheetahs and tigers used to visit. There was no safety. Actually, women and children were requested not to stay in ashram, not because of this man-woman difference. They were also afraid of the wild animals. So they were protectively, women and children were sent to town protectively. One villager came with a mother cow and a calf, newborn calf, and told, you came to me last night in dream. You said, give me this cow, so I have brought it. You have to accept it. And Bhagavan's whole attention was on that calf. The calf was trying to come to Bhagavan. It was with the owner. It was coming to. And then somebody there asked, what will you do by giving the cow? We cannot maintain here. We cannot keep cow here. And I said, I know that. And this is my only livelihood. But this Samyar, Virgatutar, he has asked me, give me this cow. So I have brought it. I will not take it back. That's how that cow, then somebody offered from town, we will keep it. So mother and baby were taken to the town, but every day this baby calf will break the ties and then run to Bhagavan. Bhagavan then named her Lakshmi, and for her sake the whole cowshed came in the ashram. And cow, the morning and evening she will come and lick Bhagavan's feet. If you see photograph, the cow will lick his feet. Then somebody was very inquisitive. What is that? Bhagavan said, you all prostrate. Human beings can prostrate. Animals can only through lick. They show their reverence and love and respect. And Bhagavan gave moksha to that also. If you come to ashram, there are 4 samadhis. For animals, all died in the hands of Bhagavan. And it is not just a mere love. He said, they have come to get absorbed in Arunachala. And Annamalai Swami was also there for that. Bhagavan and Bhagavan himself used to build the tomb also. The last cow Lakshmi's tomb, he has written a verse confirming that cow Lakshmi had attained liberation. Bhagavan had given it. The last moment I was also there when Bhagavan was giving liberation to cow Lakshmi. This is all superhuman stories. Don't go into the miracle aspect. Or why I am sharing all this is that if you imbibe this faith and compassion, if you listen to all these stories, it is already have come into you. It is coming into you. Compassion is the two, faith, compassion. These are the two sacred feet of the Sadguru within us. When Bhagavan says, dive within, hold on to the Sadguru's holy feet. This is exactly Sadguru's holy feet. What Roda Mekivari said, Roda, are these Sadguru's feet? He showed his own feet, said, no, in your heart. What is in our each one's heart is nothing but this faith and compassion. Faith to hold on, to make you confident, to pursue this self-inquiry, to pursue this path, and compassion to adjust yourself to any circumstances, external circumstances. Everything is given by the Lord. As Bhagavan underwent tremendously difficult circumstances, because he was an ocean of compassion. Not only he bore everything, he made everyone happy by bearing the outer environments. When the welling up of compassion takes place, the first reaction in you is acceptance for anything and everything that is happening. That's why Maharshi's one of the teaching is accept things as they are. If you climb up to the brain, it will reject. Any form of rejection is from the brain. Any form of acceptance only coming from the heart. One of the lady saints told me, be a yes man. Spirituality and negativity are not together. Never say no. Accept. It may look practically impossible. That's not what she means. She says accept everything. The external thing is given by the higher power. How Bhagavan spent his last days attending to other devotees. We share the other sessions. The doors and windows should always be open. And nothing but compassion. When somebody says, Bhagavan, it is so cold, at least we will close the doors and windows, at least in the dead of night time. Bhagavan didn't say, don't do it. He didn't say. A suffering soul will come. When that soul sees the doors are closed, it will go away. It will lose its opportunity of life. Because that moment is the moment. The present moment is the moment of liberation. So all the time he was available. 54 years, 24 hours he was available. There was no privacy for him. He never ate alone. He never slept alone. He never spoke alone. He did nothing alone. And not that we have to be like that, but that was all the expression of compassion. When you read Bhagavan's life, his care for others, extraordinary compassion to animals. Trees, when they beat some mango season, they will beat the tree and then pluck the mangoes. Bhagavan one day cried, how freely it is giving you its fruits and fruits. Is this the way you show your gratitude to the tree? Should you beat it? When they want to pluck the coconuts, they were having hooks in iron. Bhagavan got so hurt. He said, will it not hurt the coconut? Why don't you have a bamboo clap with which you can pull? It is already giving you coconut. And when flowers were taken in the dead of night, he said, why don't you allow that jasmine plant to sleep? Why do you pluck it? It is already giving you in the morning. See, at every breath, compassion was oozing out from him. And all the animals, everything, people were feeling, they were all doing nuisance and it's all smelly. So Bhagavan used to keep them underneath his sofa. Dogs and other animals. And then so that they will not commit nuisance, giving trouble to others who are sleeping there, he will take them in the night, the dogs, and then bring them back. Compassion, compassion. And people used to, see, 30 people sleeping in his room, snoring, talking in the sleep. There was one Subbarayan, he used to, from town, he was a villager. He was working in a shop where he used to measure. They will ask for rice and other things. In his sleep, here also, he will be going on, 4 measures. Only, no, this much of money, he will be shouting. So people used to feel annoyed. On that day, new moon day, he used to come. So people used to say, oh, today that fellow is going to come. Bhagavan said, be compassionate. When he is shouting, just when they are, see, all snoring, Bhagavan has revealed the secret. Snoring and talking in sleep happens only when you are on your back. If you turn, then everything will stop. Try it. I have done it. I used to snore and then I become conscious and then slip off like this and then everything will stop. And Bhagavan is like, hey, poor thing, just turn him this side. That was Bhagavan's compassion. And that is not all. Before he left the body, because the teaching is the most important thing. His whole purpose is, Arunachala has given him the commandment, the I am has to be shared. Last, the attendants asked one ignorant, innocent, illiterate attendant asked Bhagavan, is there emancipation for me? What should I do? Bhagavan's words were, Unakku nee unmayaga iru. Be true to yourself. And last days, his whole concern was before leaving the body. He was asked, he said, where could I go? He said, Bhagavan, you are going away. Where could I go? I am here. And old devotees have told me that here is the here of every one of us. The teaching was so consistent from the beginning till the last breath. I am here. I am here in the hearts of everyone. And that's not alone enough. Before he closed his eyes, I had the good fortune of being there. But I did not remember this. I have also, like you, read only from book. Suddenly he opened his eyes. He is hungry, feed him. There is a white peacock on the building. It was crying, seek the compassion. He is hungry, feed him. And then within few minutes he closed his eyes. And they were all singing Arunachala Shiva. Bhagavan's eyes were flooded with tears. His commitment, thy will be done. First day he committed himself. He never swerved from that. And Arunachala's form or nature is compassion. Bhagavan was exuding compassion. When you will read Bhagavan's life, melt with that. As we saw yesterday, with a melting mind, full of devotion, it is easier to go within, not with a doubting mind, questioning, I don't believe, this is our own, we are building our own prison. Melt. Whether it is Bhagavan or anything, melt. Look at the sunset, look at the sunrise, look at the plants, look at the trees, they all live for you. Unreservedly they give you. Where do you get this breeze? Where do you get this rain? Why don't you be grateful? It is not difficult at all to have compassion within your heart. It's not imaginary. You need not think, I want to be compassionate, I want to be affectionate. Just turn outside. Every time I pass through these trees, I feel so grateful. Unless you get an attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude is the prelude for compassion, storing up of compassion. Feel grateful to everything, anything and everything. There is a secret there. You see, if you want to be grateful, there cannot be selfishness. When I want to be grateful to you, something I have to lose myself. And you have to completely erase, which will take place, which is taking. I have seen it with old devotees, and even now, new, fresh devotees also I see, completely erasing their personality, full of compassion. And you see so many stories also. Not only it is not just a spiritual, only spiritual people will have it. It is easy for spiritual people to get it. Have trust first of all. First step is have trust in yourself. It's easy to have trust in God or something else. That is escapism. You must have trust, complete trust within yourself. And you will have complete trust within yourself unless you have an attitude of gratitude for everything. And see, that will dissolve you into compassion. And the word Arunachala, Arunachala. Aruna is this being I am. Achala is don't move it. Stay within yourself. Go within. Die within, melt yourself or merge, dissolve yourself in that inner silence. It is all the time available. This is Bhagavan's prayer to you. Bhagavan says, the inner Guru is with open arms waiting for you to look within. What are we doing this world with this world? Dive within. The inner Guru is there. For diving within, don't ignore anything, don't neglect anything, include everything. Everything is true. There is no untruth at all. Everything is true, everyone is true. Don't reject anything. All inclusion is compassion. And all inclusion, compassion is the form of God, which is within us.